All right, Rob Cosberg back with Bestseller Publishing. We discussed in the previous two videos our publish phase of Publish, Promote, Profit, our promote phase, which is the phase where we make your book a bestseller guaranteed. Now we're going to be talking about the profit phase. In many ways, this is the most exciting phase because at this point, you have a best-selling book, you have something that you're proud of, something that you can for the next 5 years or 10 years or even longer use to position yourself in an amazing way in your industry. Now we actually begin doing that for you. There are three primary things we focus on in the profit phase. And by the way, in the profit phase, we will coach you and help you to build out your program, to do direct marketing, advertising, to set up your own speaking engagements, etc. But the amazing thing is that our profit phase is a guaranteed piece of our Publish, Promote, Profit. In other words, when you come on with us and start the Publish, Promote, Profit program, we guarantee that we're going to get you on television, on the radio, speaking engagements, etc. We have a director of publicity here in the office, Michelle, that gets on the telephone. She creates your segment proposal for you. She pitches you to ABC. We have relationships all over the country. And as you can see, probably through our social media, we have authors that are featured on TV and on the radio almost every single day now. So we're very excited about this phase because this is a phase where in many ways it gets exciting for you. So the first thing we focus on is speaking engagements in the profit phase. Think of it this way. There are conferences, associations, private organizations all over the country that are looking for experts in your industry. When an expert speaker is competing against another expert speaker, and one of those expert speakers is a best-selling author, common sense tells us that who is going to stand out in that competition? Of course, the best-selling author. So as part of our Publish, Promote, Profit, and specifically Profit phase, we're going to show you and we're going to help you and line up speaking engagements for you so you can be in front of your ideal audience, making an impact and making an income in your industry. The second part is free publicity. In some ways, this is even the first part. There are hundreds of media organizations all over the country, thousands if you include radio, that are looking for contributors, experts, go-to people that are credible and that can deliver content that's interesting to their audience. When we call ABC, NBC, CBS, and talk about one of our authors, they immediately know our author is an expert, they're a best-selling author, and they have a segment proposal that's been professionally created for them by our Director of Publicity, Michelle. So it's an easy process for us to get you positioned on television, radio, blogs, etc. On this page, you'll also see some other case studies where we've done that for authors. You'll see some case studies where we've helped them get speaking engagements. And then last but not least, you'll also see some case studies on how we help them with lead generation. So the third and final piece that we focus on in the profit phase is using your book to set up a lead generation program so that you on a continual basis can get new leads for whatever it is that you're selling, your service, your program, your coaching, your consulting, whatever it is. As a best-selling author and as somebody that does speaking engagements, if you're interested in that, as somebody that's been featured on television, on the radio, then they're going to see you as the credible expert in your industry. And in many cases, you'll go from completely unknown to the very top of your industry because of this process. Now, as I've gone through this, I've talked about the publish phase taking about 5 months if you need a book created. The promote phase takes another 2 to 3, and the profit phase takes another 3 to 4. So start to finish is about a year process, again, depending on how long it takes us to create the book and depending on a couple of other elements. But by the time you go through this and finish, you will see that as a best-selling author, you have the kind of credibility and positioning that you've never had before. That is the profit phase and, in fact, summation of the Publish, Promote, Profit program. I hope this was helpful to you in explaining clearly what we do and how we do it, and how we take someone that doesn't have a book all the way through the process so they're not only a best-selling author, but they're a best-selling author featured on television, on the radio, and speaking and generating leads and income and impact to their ideal audience and industry. Thanks so much for being with me today. Hopefully this was really helpful to you, and we look forward to serving you in the future to make you a best-selling author with Bestseller Publishing.